I've been rewatching Unbreakable recently out of the fact that I just miss watching Josuke. Thank God that whole horse Josuke spin-off manga has been announced recently, and I was reminded why exactly I fell in love with this series in the first place. One of the reasons being that, among other things, power scaling is nearly non-existent in this show, and in this video I'll describe to you guys how a single episode in part 4 encapsulates almost everything I love about Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, this isn't going to be a video for why you should watch each individual part of JoJo's. There's definitely better videos out there by Super Eyepatch Wolf, who covers each part with an individual video, and a great video by Sandman, who talks about why he fell in love with the series part by part. Instead, I'm going to zero in plenty on a liked episode in Unbreakable by the name of Let's Go Hunting, and why it's just basically has everything that I love about JoJo. Well, almost everything. It kind of lacks the flamboyancy that's associated with the show. That aside, let's get into the details, shall we? Firstly, it's an episode that solely stars the protagonist of the current part, the wholesomest of bros, Josuke, and the main man's man, Jotaro, main protagonist of the previous part. If you watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you know that each part has its own JoJo who's somehow related to the previous JoJo, whether as their son, their uncle, somehow their great-grandfathers, and his immortal enemy's son simultaneously. Don't ask me how. The point is they are all related and part of the Joestar bloodline, and this here episode is dedicated to two such JoJos, Higashikata Josuke, the main character of part 4, and his nephew Jotaro Kujo, who's the main character of part 3. It's essentially just an episode of them going around hunting some wild rats, with Josuke being the ever-lovable Goofy he is, and Jotaro being the serious character we all know and love. Seeing their dynamic is awesome, especially at the beginning when Jotaro tells Josuke to come hunting with him, and Josuke assumes he means they should go hunting for hot girls. I actually let out a small laugh at this point. You know, because it's Jotaro. Secondly, it shows us that regardless of how powerful you are in this universe, your victory is never certain unless you have some sort of plan for the fight, and we see this multiple times throughout the series, but I think one of the best examples is the one that we find in this episode, where two guys that have stands that are essentially Superman, one with the power to freeze time, and the other with the power to heal any wound and reverse almost anything, get given the runaround by a couple of rats that have the simple power to shoot a weird gun that makes flesh melt. It's how the rats actually take the time to set up their traps for them and just outsmart the two JoJos that's interesting. In a straight up match, the JoJos take this fight, no doubt, but because they are fighting the rats in the rats' home base, the rats have home advantage, and seeing them give the most powerful man in the world at the time an ass whooping and having him come up with a strategy to counter these stupid sewer rats is something that makes for an intriguing matchup. And finally, third, it showed us that Araki can damn near make some scary ass stands. The rat stand is one of the creepiest things in the series. Its powers and the rats themselves have no reason to be this unnerving. Even Jotaro and Josuke, two visibly more powerful stand users, are afraid of these things. And we go on to see this point reused in the later parts and even in part 3 itself, showing that you should never judge a stand user by its cover, or by their cover, or whatever. It shows us that anyone, anything, and everything that's capable of having a stand can wreck you if it's so pleased, even if you were more powerful than said person, or animal, I guess. And that, in short, is an example of why I believe this anime is great, and also just how absurd it can be. And as I sign off, make sure to hit that subscribe button that's somewhere on your screen right about now, probably somewhere in the center, to help us on our way to 80 subscribers. Click on the left for a video on, I guess, comedy anime. You will probably like that one a lot as well. And click on your right for a video that YouTube thinks you will love from our channel. Okay, I've been Price, and I'll see you guys next time.